what's going on? Coming to you a little early tonight because we couldn't resist. We were sitting in the back. We're like, let's go. We were anxious, ready to go. So tonight you have 3/4 of TLD. Unfortunately, Jason couldn't come in tonight. He's busy working on some house projects, and maybe we'll talk to him next week. But he and I had it last week, so he's taking a break, a little hiatus. We got Walsh up here, Joe up here. Walsh, he broke his neck or something, broke his vocal cords sneezing. He sounds like Kermit the Frog, but
we'll it's like that. Yeah, I can do some good movie previews.
Yeah, there's always something with us. We're getting to the age now to where, like we were saying in the backstage, like if we burp or fart or something falls out or something breaks. So yeah, we got to be careful.
It'll never be the same again.
Yeah.
So
yes, go ahead.
Yeah, he was already talking about being 2 minutes out, and we're like, oh no, we're just gonna go.
Yeah, we were sneaking in. What's up, Misfit? Good to see you, man. So it's raining here in Nebraska. It's been raining all day. We had gale force winds last night, knocked down a bunch of trees, busted up. So Walsh and I had a mutual patio table that I've had for years. He had it for years. I had it for years. And now it's gone, thanks to the wind. But
just broke it.
Well, yeah, my wife's already picked out new patio furniture.
No, you better replace that glass, Cody. That has too much sentimental value to let it go, dude.
Yeah,
you better go get some tempered glass.
Something cool.
I thought that was tempered glass, and it just shattered.
Oh,
no, that's what tempered glass does.
We got that from Nebraska.
Tiny little pieces. That's what tempered glass does, man.
Yeah,
but they're not very sharp, so they're safe.
No,
that's why you were able to vacuum them up.
Yeah, dude, you want to know how lazy I am? I was sat on a little rolly chair, and I sat there and just vacuumed, sucked all up.
I believe it.
Y'all would have laughed at me sitting there doing that.
I believe it. Rolling around with your chair. You probably have more issue rolling around in the chair, running over your extension cord than if you would have just stood up and just did it.
I did that a couple times, and I yelled at the vacuum like it was the vacuum's fault.
Why you keep getting in my way? Quit getting tangled up. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Hey, so did Misfit? Did you ever get your optic? I don't know if we saw any final photos of the Ride-On optic. You guys see it last week?
No, he didn't. He had it last week, but I don't think he had. He said he was going to send us some pictures.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I definitely want to share them once he gets them.
I know that Daniel got his knife.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, yeah, good. He said it's super sharp, and now it's his everyday carry.
So nice, awesome. So look at 12. I got into the age where I can sneeze and pull a damn muscle. So this is funny because I was saying how I broke my vocal cords from sneezing, and then Joe goes like, "Dude, if I sneeze, I pull something in my back."
It feels like my allergies are whooping me, and it feels like every time I sneeze, I'm gonna pull my back out.
So today I was chewing sunflower seeds while I was working, and I went to sneeze, and I was like, I'm gonna hold it in. So you know how you can sneeze and like hold it in. Yeah. So I tried to do that, and instead I just went, just blew my sunflower seeds all over my screen.
My grandpa, man, bless his heart, rest in peace. But he always used to say, "Getting old ain't for sissies."
Yeah,
and that's the truth, man. Getting old ain't for sissies, and we're only halfway there. It's all downhill from here.
Oh, I know. Like, we have all the good times are already over. Now they're just all the suffering years. Like, great. I can't wait for a ton more years of this. Cool. Okay, Misfit, just need to mount it. Let me know if you need any help with that. I got all kinds of tricks with mounting. I probably need to share some of those videos eventually. Warren actually reached out to me. I didn't tell you guys about this. Warren actually reached out to me because these guys keep nagging me about those 1.93 mounts. So they're actually going to send us a 1.93 like actual like
we keep nagging you or making fun of you?
Yeah, we make fun. Everybody else nags.
No, the viewers actually want to see them. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how a scope mount's going to do, but we're going to try one.
Yeah, so they're probably like, "Hey, what are we going to do with all the 1.93 that we made and nobody bought? Oh, just send one to Walsh."
Yeah, he'll check it out. At least one will get used somewhere.
Ridiculous. Bring that gun up. Bring that gun up. Put it in the pocket of your shoulder like you should. You won't have a problem with.
No, yeah, and I think the mounts, like honestly, on LPVOs, I think those and scope mounts up at 1.93 is going to have a significant problem when I go prone. I want to try it. I'm thinking it's going to be an issue. I'm going to like crane my neck all weird. I don't think it's going to work.
So people that don't know, if you look, I got half of a pew right here. If your shoulder right here on the buffer tube or in line with the buffer tube, you are wrong. Your shoulder, this part should be making contact with your shoulder halfway down. I mean, this is a brace, not a stock. But if it was a stock, halfway down,
which is not.
That's where you're.
I thought that was a ghost gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's that AR or what AK-15 with a magazine clip of 500, capable of 850 rounds per second.
What are the deer? Are the deer wearing vests?
Yeah, dude.
Is that why you need 100 rounds?
So this sounds funny. I told Sydney that I need a shirt made for us, a cool little image with a dude holding an F-15 and a nuke.
Yes. Yeah, we can't get into politics, but that would be awesome. If you make that, put it on the merch so everybody can join in
with it. Like, holding both, like,
I guarantee.
I'm ready, boys.
Somebody's already got that shirt out, but yeah.
Well, I will say I got it from Sean from We Like Shooting. He did some cool words with it. And I was like, man, what if we drew it? What if we drew a ridiculous one? So steal it from him a little bit. So much love to Sean over there. But
they wouldn't have a shirt that said Thin Line Defense with that on it.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So you see what 12 Bravo, Texas? Don't hold it in. I had an aneurysm last year from that. So noted, because I always do. And Cody always yells at me.
I've always heard that holding a sneeze is the worst thing for you.
Yeah, so you make your eyes pop out.
Yeah. Sometimes I try to do it to be quiet, and then I got those little specks in my eyes all the time. Like, probably shouldn't do that anymore.
Nope. I let it rip, man. I've had really bad allergies since I was a kid, so I'm the guy walking down the sidewalk, and I'll just turn and make sure nobody's beside me, and I'll blow a snot rocket right there, dude. I don't care.
So Misfit is asking, what vice do you use when mounting? I'm assuming you mean just mounting. I guess to clarify, do you mean like mounting the optic into the mount or the mount itself onto the actual rifle? Because
neither one require a vice.
I don't use a vice. Joe and Cody are the fancy guys with vices because they don't trust me with big kid tools. So I just use a basic, like a mag, whatever like mag holder I have. These are only like 65 inch-pounds, which is a little more than normal, but these are like 25. You don't need a vice.
Are you asking for like leveling purposes? Because that does make a difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the key, Misfit, and just make sure that your firearm at level. Whether you do that by setting it on books or whatever you want to do. And then I normally tighten the mount itself to the firearm first, just to make sure everything's still level, and then I do the caps. But there's no science behind that. I just want to make sure that the mount, when I tighten it down, it's everything level now. Now everything tight. Now I'm going to level the scope and tighten it down.
Yeah. So for what I do, what I like to do is I put everything in here, but everything's finger tight on the tops. So everything can still move around. And then I'll tighten these down almost as tight as I can get them with my fingers, but I don't torque them down. And then I'll go start messing with everything to get my eye relief, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I can't go back far enough, so I got to bring it back on the rail one, then push it forward. And you got to mess with it a little bit. And then once I get everything set, then I get all the levels. Then I know I can lock this down. I lock this down, and then I can level everything else out.
And don't think too far into it, Misfit. Just I don't have all the special tool. I have like the keychain level that you buy for 99 cents at any Home Depot or whatever. And I just put one on the receiver on an AR-15. So I won't put it here on the handguard. I'll put it here on the receiver or on the back where the charging handle is on the receiver. And then I put one on the top cap of the optic, and then I just go from there.
I'm trying to see. Yeah.
And even level aren't perfect, right? They're not. I mean, you can turn it just a little bit, and that bubble's still within the line. So try to get the bubble centered at best possible. Just do the best possible, and you'll be fine.
And don't don't level off the top of the cap. Take the cap off when you're putting the level on top of the actual thing, and level off the top here, because usually this is actually machined flat, whereas this piece is usually just a piece of just hot garbage. So level off here, and as Joe said, then what I'll actually do is exactly what Joe said. I'll check a level to the front, but before I put the optic even on, I'll make sure the two levels on the front of the handguard and the actual upper are actually level to each other, and then you can kind of see where everything's at. And you can kind of make reference points for your levels and stuff. I really should probably, I've done it so much I could probably show you pretty quickly some easy ways to do it.
Yeah.
Well, show them while we were talking. Go ahead and pull up what is it?
That little
Who
tool.
has the level kits? I mean, you could buy those on Amazon. The little leveling kits.
This one? Hold on.
Wheeler, right? That's where we got ours.
Wheeler.
We're talking about the little cheater. This you remember?
Yeah, either one.
Yeah,
either one. Yeah.
What's that one?
This is the one I was showing you guys a while ago.
Oh
that does like a wedge system.
Yeah,
yeah.
That works pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, this works.
I mean, just get it good enough. If you're not shooting out to 2 miles, it's not good enough and good enough.
Yeah. Now hunting rifles.
I'll even say that I've gotten them so perfect, and then realized the reticle was just a little bit off. Like it can usually have an error of half a degree or a degree before they'll call it bad. So then I'll actually see it's perfectly level, but the reticle's not. So I need to actually adjust it to level the reticle out and not necessarily level the scope out. So you can still see some of those weirder things.
Yeah. But, now hunting rifles could be different. So if you're just using rings, that's one thing. But if you actually put like a 20 MOA rail on there, then you have something to kind of level off. But you just got scope rings on there, then you got to obviously find a flat spot where you can level off of. But that's normally you open the breech up and find a level spot. But
good point. Good point, Cody. If you have split rings, I mean, on hunting rifles or whatever, you're not going to put a level out on your barrel. You're never going to get anywhere. So, I mean, then like we're saying, good enough, right? So drop it onto your trigger guard and see if it's level there. I mean, that's good enough.
So you can get these little guys on Amazon. This is a little wedge that you can use. So you slide it underneath basically the scope mount and the optic. So you make it so it's underneath the flat spot of the actual optic. And so if it's underneath the flat spot, then you can run this wedge underneath. And what that'll do is actually put pressure underneath the actual, the flat part of the optic itself, and then force it to kind of level out. But I will say though, like we're saying, level is not necessarily optic level. Most of the time it is, but it could be off the slightest where you're going to want to actually change it just a little. That's where we're saying, and your brain does some weird stuff. I mean, even some people take out I've even taken a plumb bob out to 20 yards and be like, all right, everything looks off canted. Then I hang something. I think I hung a shoe on a rope one time. I was like, I want to see if I did this right. And it was like, it seems like the reticle is offset. And then I hung it and lined it up. I'm like, nope, it's exactly what the reticle. It's just my eyes and the way I'm sitting, whatever I'm doing is making it look like it's canted, even though it's not.
Yeah, Misfit, I just use my bipod. Most of the time I just use my bipod, and I'll put a book or something underneath the stock and just put it on top and get everything level. And then I just make fine adjustments and just keep looking at my level. You know what I mean? If it moves slightly, just move it back. It's not crazy.
If you have that level at the front of the rifle, if you make sure that's a good reference point, and you have everything level, you can just see if you've moved it all. At least be like, okay, even if it's just a reference point, you're like, okay, I know if we've moved, but you're not doing enough force where a bipod wouldn't work. I'm with Joe. That's usually how I do it. It's pretty easy.
And you're gonna want to.
My weapon will tilt in my bipod, but I just stand it straight up and just go.
Yeah, you want to tighten the rings down to where your scope's not just, sliding back and forth. Make sure it's got a little bit of tension on it. That way you can find your eye relief, move it, find your eye relief. And that way when you do move the gun or if you bump the gun, it's not just sliding, out of level. So.
And Misfit, if you do everything that we just said, right, just set it up, level it down, and finger tighten everything, move the gun, you'll notice that your scope doesn't move. You have to actually apply force to move it. Yeah. So get your eye relief, get everything level, make sure everything finger tight, everything level, and then just tighten them down, man. It's not going to move. It's not going to move. Even if your gun moved, your scope's not going to move. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I think you've seen me do it pretty much, and I do it. I'm not super delicate. Joe yells at me for over torquing everything and just smashing everything, and I have no problem with it. Like
I learned that when you were putting your firearm back together after Cerakoting. I'm like, okay, now I understand why you torque everything, and from now on, you're torquing everything.
Yeah, I'm not delicate. Joe probably has like this delicate art to maintenance, and I'm just like smashing it, done.
Yeah. I have a calibrated elbow, but my calibrated elbow going from foot, inch pound to foot pounds. Walsh calibrated elbow and just stuck at 100 foot pounds, and that's it.
It's just
like, it's like I'm putting a lug nut on my car. Hold on. Like, no, dude, that's a screw.
You want me to fully
into an aluminum receiver.
You want me to fully crush it or just half crush it? Like, no, don't crush it. Crush it.
Yeah. So I have to go by 1/10 umphs for, everybody else, 1 umph, 2 umph, 1.5 umph. Walsh, 0.1 umph, 0.2 umph. But anyway, so what video did we release this week?
So
I just want to say hi to Harry. I don't think we said hey to him yet. And let me follow up with these videos. Misfit, if you really ODC about it, hang a plumb bob and check it with your reticle, and then you can just do it that way. That's the most OCD way of doing it. I don't recommend doing that. I think it's a huge waste of time. But it's not going to matter.
Throw some 99-cent level on there and call it good, man. Yeah. You'll see. Just do it. Do it once or twice. You'll see.
If you're shooting at 2 miles, it matters. If you're not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Even if you torque it all down, get out to the range, and you're like, okay, something's not right. You can bust it all loose again, try again when you get home.
Cody, do you remember your buddy? Remember when we were going out to the range, and it was like, hey, man, we're trying to zero his rifle. And it was like, it was everywhere. Like, okay, you're 2 mils high. Okay, now you're 3 mils low. Okay, now we're 2 mils left. Like, what's going on? And it was like, it had to be 50 shots in. And we're like, oh, yeah, the front mount screw is busted. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
but he did it right when we got there. He's like, yeah. Ah. He's like, oh. And just kept going. I'm like, okay.
But y'all didn't tell me. Like, I showed up way later, and I'm like trying to like figure it out.
We got a D Gonzalez in the chat. Is he related to Jason?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's one of our Patreon supporters. He always does cool stuff with us.
No, I don't think so. He just has a cool name. That's all.
Yeah, just cool name. No relation.
It might be brother or dad. I know that Jason, brother and dad, watch the show, so maybe that's them.
Cool.
Right, so video. You guys did some lights. You guys had some fun with some lights.
We did. Yeah. Did you guys talk about that one a little bit?
Yeah. A little bit.
Sorry, I missed last week. So I'm sorry.
No,
I'll let you go, Cody.
No, it's good. So when we were in the live chat, Jason and I were talking about it. I was like, I haven't finished watching the video yet, and I hadn't gotten to like my part, where I participated in the video. So I was like, I know kind of how we felt about it, but I haven't seen the video. So I kind of talked about that. But yeah. Walsh wants to chat about it a little bit. We can.
I just want to go on record that unless you absolutely need that, if you need that flashlight with that long throw.
Yeah.
If you don't know that you need that, do not buy that. That is worthless for mounting to a gun. That is worthless for mounting to a gun. If you are spotlighting coyotes at 500 yards and that's legal in your state and you talk to the warden, we don't condone poaching or anything illegal. So if that's legal in your state and you're spotlighting coyotes, then sure, that's great.
I don't even think it would work well then. Like, as I was showing, it's really just the size of your actual reticle. Like, you can only see as much as your reticle can see. So
if I'm gonna do something like that, I'm carrying an actual spotlight. You know what I mean? There are too many good million burn your face off lumen spotlights that are rechargeable that you can carry and do that. I'm not doing that with that flashlight. I don't know why they made that. I don't know.
And so we were talking about having it be adjustable like the mag light, right? Remember the mag lights back in the day, how you can adjust the cone?
Yeah.
And Jason found a flashlight that's similar. And excuse my hands motions. Hopefully when people watch this video 5 years down the road, they can hear the audio, but I'm going to do some motions. Know that I'm talking about a flashlight.
How do I mute you? How do I mute you right now?
So
with an A, not an E.
You move the head of the flashlight and it adjusts the cone like the old mag lights did. And
Yeah.
I think
You
if
turn it.
Olight, yeah, well, yeah, the mag lights you turn, but this one you move it up and down on the shaft of the flashlight.
Okay.
So I think if Olight did that with the turbo, it would be a good flashlight. Like if you
Yeah.
want to concentrate the beam like that, that's
Yeah.
fine. But
I can open
having
it
it,
up.
yeah, having it stuck like that, I
I don't think people saw as well as we did when we did the actual like room clearing. You could just see like this little golf ball, like this
Yeah.
highlighted golf ball.
I wasn't even
like
with you guys. I saw it all in the video, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's worthless.
We were standing there like, boy, that's pretty bad.
If you want to use a flashlight to start a campfire, then sure, this is in the running. But other than that, I mean, that
it gets hot.
concentrated focus
It does get hot.
Yeah, especially that focus, that concentrated.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a chat poll asking what I'm drinking.
Yeah, so don't answer.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys-
Right now it's tea.
Oh yeah, we're going for a vote for tea and
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Nobody
also
can
tea.
guess it because nobody thinks
Yeah.
people are that crazy, but he is.
Yeah. Zach must just think I'm a weirdo. Misfit at least likes me a little bit.
You sound like you're from
did we even
London.
release any videos?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To the viewer, I'm gonna do a quick disclosure, real quick. So I retired from the military. Well, technically, I went on leave from the military, and the next day I started a new job, local law enforcement stuff.
Like
That's
the
all I'll
next
say
day.
about it. Yeah, literally went on leave on the 13th, started class on the 14th. So I'm in a training academy. It's whooping my butt 'cause I'm old and out of shape. So that's why I haven't been here. It's like 12 to 16-hour shifts, depending on what we have to do that night. So I'm Space Cadet. Just bear with me for the next, I don't even know how long. It's going to be months, but bear with me and I'll get through it.
We got you, Joe.
So what video did we even release?
So
This
Jason pushed out the
Jason's-
Grey Ghost Gear UGF, which I don't know what that stands for.
Oh, the belt. The belt. Yeah.
Belt, yeah.
Yeah. And he said he liked the belt, but he didn't like the inner belt. And I kind of agree with him, even though I haven't touched either of them. I don't think I would like the inner belt. And the adjustability on that just wasn't great. I think, Cody, you and I haven't touched any of the belts, right?
Mm-mm.
So we're just basing our opinion off of the video that we watched. So same with our viewers.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to pick one, once they're for sale, I'm going to go with a Wallstrom belt.
Once you can find one, yeah.
Yeah.
The axle, I mean,
Yeah.
I compare everything to that now. Everything gets
Yeah.
compared to that. Like it's just where it's the best. It's the best price. It's the best material. It's the best way to hook up. Like
it's a good looking
sound
belt.
Like it does sound like the inner belt issue is a theme, doesn't it? Or maybe we're just biased and we have our inner belt that we like, and everything else is going to be poo poo. I don't know.
My thing, and we all know what the military belt is, right?
Yeah.
That is a very low profile aluminum buckle. So just build your inner belt with that buckle like a military belt where it flops over itself. So at least I can get some leverage and cinch it down. I hate when I'm like sucking in and just looping over. Oh, wait, now I have to go back underneath that belt loop, or can I go over top of it? Oh, now I'm tearing up the belt
Blue Alpha
loop.
Gear uses that little plastic one. That's
But even
to me,
then,
is better.
But even then, I don't know why it's the only belt, and I think this is why we all just bias to that belt. It's the only one, that Blue Alpha Gear low profile EDC belt is the only one that you loop through and then you can pull.
Right.
You can tighten like a normal human being. Like
That's what I want.
Comfortably tight. The other one, I'm with Joe. You have to like pull the two pieces, but don't let them touch each other because then you can have a freaking disaster. And so you're trying to like pull them.
Yeah.
Like oh no, they're.
And if you want a quick adjustment, it ain't a quick adjustment. That's like, excuse me while I go to the bathroom and fix my belt. Yes. So you guys are saying, I don't have any of them. You guys are saying I just use my military belt. I mean, you sent me the, what's it called? Well, what did you send me? I don't even know.
The Eagle operator one?
Yeah. That you weren't a huge fan, but I haven't even had a chance to run it. But so what'd you say, Cody, for the inner belt?
The Blue Alpha Gear.
I run.
EDC.
That's what Jason runs too. We all three run the same one.
Blue Alpha Gear inner belt with the axle outer, and the axle will fit the Blue Alpha Gear, right?
Yep.
So there you have it. Finally, after 50 videos and countless dollars spent and countless times for poor Walsh, you have the perfect combination.
No more belt videos. Sorry,
Right?
guys. It's over. We've
I mean,
solved it.
we can keep running it, but
Yeah.
from now on, it's going to be, does this beat the Blue Alpha gear? No, it doesn't. So I don't even need to get. Why doesn't it? Because of this trash.
Yeah.
Like,
we see what Misfit.
now it's simple.
I don't know how he got. I got to go back in some comments. See, he just ordered his Axel belt. Hopefully, he has it by September.
Yeah, he probably pre-ordered it.
Well,
the only way
means it was actually available to buy at some point.
Yeah, mine just said unavailable when I tried to buy it.
That's all my placard stuff was too. I ordered it and then I forgot about it and it showed up months later, but whatever.
Christmas.
Hey, here's a kind of, we're gonna jump ship for questions for a second, but yeah. So Joe covered it. Blue Alpha Gear low profile EDC belt for the inner belt, Axle Eclipse outer belt. Those are our best overall option. I think it's the cheapest option too. You could probably get that for like that whole setup for like $150, which is
I now have
pretty awesome.
I now have 3 of those inner belts.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to start.
And I haven't bought a single one, and 100% once I can buy them, I'm not gonna wait. I'll wait for a while and maybe order it, but 100% those are the 2 that I'm buying.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I got a black and tan one, or right, a black one and a tan one. And then Ashley needed one, so I gave her a black one, and I ordered me another black one. That's why I have 3. But
yeah, I'll probably buy one because we get issued gear for my current job, but that doesn't mean that we can't make it better. And right now, I have a Gals nylon,
the Velcro
inner and outer, Velcro one. So I'm gonna take some pictures, send it to you guys, and if it'll work with that other belt, then I'm buying it.
Joe, did you play with those those angled mag pouches that I brought over when we came over to paint?
No, I haven't been able to.
I know you've been busy. Those are awesome too. Like, I like those. They're probably not my favorite, but they're top 3.
Because the ones that you sent me, I'm terrible with names. If you haven't, the S-Tac ones. I don't think I'll. Once I find something that I love, I rarely venture out of it. Like, somebody have to convince me that this is better for me to even give it the time of day.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna mess with them, but
the S-Tacs are the Axle Eclipse of the magazines. I mean, in reality, that's where they're at. Yep. Here we go already. I got to go back to some questions in a second, though. I'm getting out of order. But Zachary says, "You guys gonna grab?" See, he's already asking. We haven't even gotten away from the belts. He's already asking us to try another one.
I don't know. Does it beat the Axle?
Let me. I'll pull it
Zachary.
up. Let me look this one up real quick while you guys are chatting.
Does it beat it? What other video besides the belt? Is that it?
Well, Jason bought that belt. That's his duty belt.
Belt. Yeah. He carries that on a daily basis.
Yeah. So we'll see how that holds up. I'd be curious to see somebody use that Axle belt in a day-to-day operation too. I'd like to see if it wears or if it cracks or anything. I don't know what does that material do over time.
If they have a black one, I'll see if I'm allowed to, but I might be using that on literally a daily basis. Well, 4 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
But hey, so is that it for videos before I move on?
Well, then Jason's Battlebox.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He did 2 in 1. He got super busy, right?
Okay, hold on. Look at this. Okay, so this belt, this looks a lot like
$255.
No,
this looks a whole lot like the Pharaoh.
I'm out.
I mean,
it would have to. I don't even know what it could do to justify me spending $150 more on it. I could buy 2 outer belts and my inner belt for the same price. I
don't know why it would be. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why it would be to Ronin. So let's put it that way. Like
you could buy the Blue Alpha gear. It's the same as that belt.
I mean, it does have some of the Tegris in between. Like if you can see the Tegris but I don't know what you're really adding to it. And the Axle Eclipse solves the same problem better because where they're adding some rigidity in between the molly sections, the Axle Eclipse doesn't have that at all.
As long as the axle holds up, like Cody said, through multiple use and for a long time, then it will be the top of the list, I think. But anyway.
Yeah.
Battlebox, Cody. What all went in the Battlebox? I forgot. I watched them.
They're going to be meant.
So,
I want you to get that.
But I was half asleep.
So
You
the
got
big
some
thing
food?
Yeah.
Oh, that stupid chem stick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That
I don't know.
And then the leather koozie that they claimed was like $40. Like if you're paying $40,
honestly, the one
this
thing
little
that he
guy
said he
went
was
like 12, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. That thing awesome for like 12.
One thing that he said he was kind of curious about and was going to test it if he was camping right now, which he's not. That's another story for another day.
Yes.
That
bag,
that shower in a bag.
Oh yeah, shower in a bag and the vacuum bag, the vacuum seal bag.
Yeah.
He did end up getting a lot of stuff into that bag. Which
he put three days worth of 3 days worth of clothes in there, and then it was a small little compact thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see how that little shower in a bag goes because it says it's reusable, which I'm curious on how that works.
I've used the shower in a bag multiple times too. They're called baby wipes. They're called baby wipes. Like or just a washcloth and a little bit of soap. Like
it's shower in a bag
in your canteen. Just pour some water on it and call it good. But
I'm clean now.
I've bathed in a bottle of water before, but the water overseas is always giant, so that's a good bath.
Yeah. So all right.
I don't understand because apparently you can you break it up and it has soap and stuff like that, but then he read on the package it says it's reusable, so I don't know if it dries out.
You're gonna put more soap in it.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I told him.
You gotta try
I told him he has to do a video and just pixelate everything out.
We did that. We did have some people did have a lot of comments. Sorry, I'm going backwards on some comments, which is going to annoy everyone. But they were in agreement that the Battlebox was a bit of a disgrace.
Yeah.
I just think it was weird, and I think it was actually Zachary who commented on the YouTube video, either him or Misfit, that it said like it seemed like they were just pricing the things like an outrageous thing. So like, look at you got such a good deal. Like, man, that's like a $12 koozie and an $8 fishing rod, and you told me I got a $60 value.
I know leather expensive, like, but I feel that that's such a small niche. Out of all the people that order the Battlebox, what percentage do you think would be willing to spend $40 on a koozie?
It was only included.
I'd be willing to bet under 10.
Like, listen, it was only included because nobody else was buying those. Like, no one
right.
Buy a leather.
We have a whole buttload of the koozies. Let's sell them to Battlebox.
I mean, the last thing I want to do when I have leather is get it wet, and then to put it around a drink that's going to constantly get wet seems like a genius plan.
Yeah, and look, it had a neoprene inside.
Look at this little guy. So this is my low vest koozie, and it even opened up, and you can actually like take the side panel open and like use it as an actual vest, and it has like a little drawstring in the back. It has a little Velcro. It's padded.
I got a little Haley Strategic on mine.
I've seen a Chihuahua wearing one once.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but I'm just showing that because this was $10 or $12, whatever. What were they? Well,
oh, not very much. We saved like it was like $3 off per one we bought, so we kept buying more, so we get more dollars off. But we're talking in terms of dollars, like
guys,
it's about
around $10.
Yeah.
So before we move away from the Battlebox, when we did the poll on YouTube, everybody voted for barrels and blades, or blades and barrels, or something like that. So Jason reached out to them and tried to sign up for a subscription, and they're like, "Hey, you won't get your first box till like September." So he still signed up for that. However, he's going to move on to a different subscription. That way he can keep the videos rolling. So the barrels and blades will be the next subscription video that he does.
He's paying for it now to get them in September. And so we don't have that big of a break in between the video. He did another subscription in between. All out of his home pocket. So you can comment on a video for thanking him for doing it. So thanks.
Which is good because, I mean, he can poo-poo on him if he wants to because he's paying for it. So.
Yes. See?
Hey, I'm super excited to move on from video. Are we ready?
Yeah, I have a question, though. We have actually a question from a viewer. I'm curious. 12 Bravo Tech says, what's your guys' thoughts on the rare breed trigger? I'm
Never used it.
Yeah, we haven't. So none of us have used it. I think it would be pretty interesting to. I mean,
is that the one that auto resets?
It auto resets, yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So my thought is, I'm trying not to get. That's not political. That long. Yeah. My thought is that is soon to be illegal.
Yeah, and that's
whether you have it or not, you're gonna have to turn it in. Yeah. I think that go right into the realm of bump stocks, whether you believe it or not. I know that going through some court proceedings, so that might be ruled unconstitutional. But that's hard, man. I will say this: I almost bought one. Okay, until I did my research. Number one, it was really expensive, so I did a bunch of research. I found a bunch of people that it's breaking stuff within the gun.
They fixed it though. They fixed the version 2. They fixed it. It wasn't within the gun. It was within the trigger.
Yeah.
The trigger itself, the spring was jamming up, but they bored that out in different ways. So they fixed it.
The only thing that I don't like about it is the controllability. So if you are trying to account for every round, that's probably not the best trigger for you. Can you do it? Sure. Can you do it under crazy pressure? Your heart rate through the roof, your heart rate at 180, everything going wrong for you right now. Could you control it? Probably not. I think if it were me, for the price, I would go with a binary trigger instead. Because at least with a binary trigger, when you pull it to the rear, you can then switch it over to safe and let go of the trigger, and it won't shoot that second round. I know it works different. I know it's resetting itself, and you're creating constant pressure. But I learned recently that it takes 0.3 seconds for your brain to tell your finger to let off the trigger. And in something like that, 0.3 seconds could mean what, 2-3 rounds realistically.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah.
Go ahead. You go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to talk about ammo conservation, I guess, or if anybody's ever shot an automatic or anything like that, or like we used to carry the MP5 or MP5. What was I gonna say? MP5. Jeez. Yeah. And so those things, when you get in a full auto, you're just hanging on and spraying and praying. So bump stocks and triggers and stuff like that make your gun into automatics. I'm not a fan for those. If we were playing Call of Duty, I'd be all about it. But being that I'm a human, I can't keep that thing on target. I'm just wasting ammo. So
yeah,
you could put yourself in a situation.
Your finger, one trigger press can almost go just as fast if you train into it. And you'll be more accurate when you train into it. Look at what's his name? Something Mishalik. I forget his name.
Jerry.
Jerry. Yeah, one of the best shooters in the world. He did 6 shots on steel plates with a revolver, a reload, and 6 shots on steel plates in just over 2 seconds. It's with a revolver and a reload. I don't know how he did that. That didn't freak nature, but
the reload was the clutch part. That was
but that just shows that you can train to be just as fast and accurate without that.
Yeah, and so I'll
buy with caution. You might have to turn it in. That's all I'm saying. I think a cool idea. Go out to the range with your buddies, have fun with it. Don't put it in your home defense gun. Don't put it in your everyday carry. Don't put it even in your trunk gun, and don't get bent out of shape if you have to turn it in. If you want to be a law-abiding citizen.
And so I'll add my bit to this. I want to say with what Cody's saying, I can pull the trigger way faster than I can shoot accurately. So the speed of pulling trigger is not a problem. If I want to train to pull a trigger as fast as humanly possible, there's actually some really cool cadence tricks you can do. And I showed, we cheat this. We cheat it when we go on camera because, you don't want to waste the footage. So I even told Cody, hey, I need you to, in your head, say a cadence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep saying that. And when I say go, I want you to pull the trigger. And your brain will do this crazy thing where you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you'll pull the trigger that fast. But no, is that accurate? No. If we were to show you what we were shooting at, you're just going to see trash everywhere. But then when we shoot for accuracy, it's way different, where it's more of like a bang, 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 bang. You have to reset. You have to recontrol. So what does a rare breed trigger give me? It lets me shoot faster than I can accurately. For $350, I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
That doesn't give me anything.
I'll say one more thing on that too. Wait, if I can not lose my train of thought. So it interjects something else that you have to train into also into your gun. So sure, it faster on that video. I've watched plenty of video on it. It ain't faster than somebody shooting supposedly as fast as they can with just their finger, right? Sure, faster. Interject a malfunction into it. Interject
you're more likely to have
that your finger didn't, it didn't get pushed off enough. So now you're just holding it to the rear and you held it too tightly and it didn't reset, right? Interject that into it. It's going to take a second or two for your brain to even figure out like, oh, I need to release and pull again. It's going to take that half a second to a second.
I have to trigger forward to reset the hammer.
Where if I'm just shooting normally, I'm going to have passed you. So in a perfect setting, I'm faster. But like Cody and Wolf said, I don't know anything faster and better. And you should be accounting for every round. You should be looking. If you're focusing on one thing and just dumping a whole magazine into that one thing, like at the range, you just want to go kill paper as fast as you can. Sure, that's great. Anything else, I don't see a reason for it. Suppressive fire, and if you name me the last time you've been in a suppressor fire situation, just laying down round while somebody bounds back to you. I mean, for that, sure, it'll probably be great. But if you're doing that, you probably have access to full auto weapons. So
that's what I was going to say. If we're doing that, if you're throwing suppression down for me, I'm hoping that it's not an M4. I'd rather it be like a 249 or 240 Bravo, something bigger.
That's just the Call of Duty side of it. So.
Yeah, reloading real fast with the with the M4. So yeah, people were echoing what we said. It seems like a matter of time before the ATF. It's just too close. We think it's too close and it's too expensive. It's not. You're gonna waste. I think you're gonna waste some serious money.
If it was $100, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
But what was it? I think it was $350. If my memory.
If
my memory serves me right. And for that, I'm gonna buy a binary trigger.
Yeah, and saying
because then I can flip it all the way and go have fun at the range. I can just just flip it to fire and use it at a normal firearm. But any of that stuff, if you use it, is going to be brought into question. I would not put that in my home defense gun. I wouldn't put any of that in my home defense gun. I want my home defense shoot to be locked in solid. Like, I'm not even charged because it's so clear that this was, self-defense. Any reason that you can give a jury and a jury of your peer, right? So if you're like, well, is it true that you modified them to shoot as many rounds as you can? So why did you shoot them 10 times? It doesn't matter that you shot him 10 times because he was still moving and still posed a threat and was still reaching for the gun that was laying next to him. You shot him 10 times, and that's going to come into play into court. So CYA, I wouldn't put in my home defense guns.
And this is all our opinion. So obviously you could probably watch some other live chat and they'd probably love that thing.
Yeah, they'll be bad about it.
Level 100 wizards like it. And here he says it feels like a novelty piece. But what's funny is but to the civilian, it's as close as you'll get to a full auto. I mean, besides your belt buckle, besides your belt loops, I mean, it's if you know how to work a belt loop, you could do the same thing. And you see how accurate you are at full auto. It's super fun. It's not that fun. It's cool. Like one time, like, oh great, I just wasted $100 in 35 seconds. That's super.
No,
fun.
I agree. It's a novelty piece. It's something to go out to the range and pass around to your buddy. If you have $350 to spend on that, please buy it and let us know. We'll live vicariously through you. If I had $350 laying around, I would have already bought one, put it in a gun, went and had fun with it, taking it out.
I'll even let you do the review. I'll just like put our name on it. Like, hello everyone, welcome to the review from whoever this is.
He's going to show us this trigger.
Yeah, he's going to show us this cool trigger.
But like everybody's saying, I think you take it out. You put 20 or 30 rounds through your gun. You put that gun away. You spend the rest of the time shooting like a normal human being, and you probably do that once a year, unless you just want to flex on everybody, showing everyone how rich you are by buying ammo. I don't see you doing it.
And even then, something we've been talking about so much, and I'm going to jump over to a misfit question about the Mantis to lead us into this too. So many people, I had some people come over and visit, and they were talking about wanting to go to the range and train. And I'm like, why? Why are you going to the range to train? Like even looking at their form, I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of things you need to clean up way before a range day. Like I've been there. There was way more things. I was like, Joe, I need to go to the range. Like, no, Walsh, you don't. Your stance is poor. Your grip is poor. Your draw is poor. What are you going to the range for? Oh, you're going to work accuracy. Okay. What are you going to do about all your other problems? Yeah. So I think it's so interesting that people, they need to train so much other stuff. And I'm going to segue. We'll come back to 12 Bravo attack on this one. Ask me if I completed the elite marksmanship training on the Mantis. I didn't. Only because it just takes a lot of time. I need
Is
to
that
do
the
it.
one that I got a 99 on?
Oh my god!
Is that it?
Yes,
that's it.
That's
okay.
99.
I score. What's that mean?
Did
I take it? What's
so,
that mean?
Misfit, if you got elite, you are my hero. And I will say, legitimately, if you go through all three of the Mantis, you have to do one. If you do basic and then advanced, and then you can get to elite. You can't like just jump. So if you go through all three, it'll probably take you a good 2 to 3 weeks, maybe longer, to go through it all. And by that time, I promise, if you haven't shot one shot, you've gone through all that training, you haven't shot one live bullet, I bet you will shoot it phenomenally well.
Yeah, you'll probably outshoot 80% of the people that go to the range that day.
And you haven't shot one bullet yet. And all you've done is go through dry firing. But you've been dry firing with doing all the technique correctly for weeks.
Then all you have to do is train yourself for the flinch, and you're fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, go back one comment. There we go.
Yeah.
Straight A base model, reflex sight, iron sights, light. That's it. That's all I have on mine. Yeah. That's all I have on my 9mm. That's my that's my first gun I'm grabbing. That's the one that sits on my dresser. So my 9mm AR, all I have is I have backup iron sights, I have a red dot, and I have a flashlight on it. That's all you need.
Nothing crazy. And you talk about the CYA of it all. We're obviously not lawyers, but going to a case, we have to explain why you're going to have to explain why you use certain ammo, why you have certain things on there. Like, it's all, if they can use it against you, I mean, think if you're the lawyer on the other side, you're going to want to use that against that person.
Yeah, and not just in criminal, but in civil too.
Yeah.
You might not get charged, but you might still get sued. Anybody can sue anybody for any reason. It's just a matter of whether or not it's, ruled in their favor or not. So, family member could sue you for shooting their loved one that never did anything wrong, but just happened to break into your house. So
they just
it's weight. It's stuff to get caught. It's stuff to fumble with. It's everything. So put a shake to weight red dot on it. If you're anal retentive like me, then put some backup iron sights on it. I just want them just in case I pick it up and the red dot doesn't turn on. And put a flashlight on there, because bad guy normally don't operate during the daytime.
Ooh,
you do not want to shoot one of your family member or a friend, or when you turn your light on and you realize that that's just your drunk neighbor that walked into the wrong house. Like, if you're human, you will feel bad about that, and put a flashlight on it.
Joe, this is something I've never asked you. So that's why I skipped a couple questions. Harry, I'll get to your question, I promise. Do you put a sling on your truck gun or home defense gun?
My home defense, no. My truck gun, I probably would. I had my trucks broken into. I live in a good neighborhood, and my trucks were broken into, so I don't leave firearm in my vehicle. But your backpack gun, that's the same thing. Yes, I would. Because that's geared towards, if you're that far into it, then you also have like a kit close hand, right? A kit within 5 minutes of wherever you're at. So in your trunk or something like that. If you're throwing on kit and everything else, then yes. And why I say that is because if you're in that type of situation, then you're security minded enough that you're going to help other people, right? Mm-hmm. So you just even if you eliminated the threat laying on the ground bleeding out, but there are 3 other people there, right? And you want to go over and give first aid. What are you going to do with that gun? Are you going to put it on the ground, like next to that person that's shot and not in their right mind? I'm not going to give somebody my gun. I don't care if they were a victim or the person shooting. I'm not going to give somebody my gun. So in that case, yes, I would. If you're carrying a long gun for those purposes, I would definitely put some sort of sling on it. And I stand by. The guys turned me on to the McLean. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
The McLean sling, because then you can literally just take that and cinch it down or clip it up, cinch it down, and it's right here, tight to your chest and not going anywhere. if another bad guy come out, that was only one bad guy, the other guy went in there robbing something, so now he comes out. I literally just yank 2 times, and I'm back in a single point and ready to rock and roll. So McLean Sling, yes, I would put it on if you're carrying it for those purposes.
And the McLean Sling isn't like Instagram fancy. People are gonna be like, oh no, you don't want to carry that for X, Y, and Z. But like for everything we've seen and tried, like it's just tried and true. And Jason showed it to us from a duty standpoint. He's like, I wouldn't use anything else. We're like, what is this thing? And then we're trying it out. I'm like, oh wow, okay, this is
use it.
Like,
use it and then tell me that it's not worth the $70 it costs. And use it first, and then tell me a downfall of that sling.
You know, and then there's a bunch of these people talking about wanting to just like I haven't used the Vickers sling, but the McLean is just it's awesome.
Yep. Or if you transition, right? Like if you're in that situation, you probably are concealed carrying also. So you have your rifle on you, bang, you know, your long gun, whatever. You need to put that down for whatever reason and go to your backup, whether you ran out of ammo because you're not carrying 7 magazines on you. You ran out of ammo. You're clearing into a dark area and now you need a flashlight and that's on your pistol, not on your rifle. Like anything that you need to transition. Now I have it here. I pull down. It's stuck to my chest, solid. I draw my alternate weapon and I do whatever I need to do for whatever reason. I'm not just ditching my gun anywhere. Hopefully that helps. That's my opinion.
Backing up to home defense, you're probably more than likely going to be running through your house in the dark and messing with a sling in the dark. I don't recommend it. But I think where's the Misfit at? Our saying is mission dictates gear. So truck gun, sling, yes. Home defense, no. So just kind of dictates what are you going to be doing with it.
And Joe gave a good point. Like if I need to put a gun down in my house, I can do that. But if I'm out, I don't want to do that. Right. Yeah. It's just kind of like I want to keep it on me, keep it situated.
Yeah. And my AR 9mm just to either get the threat right in front of me or get me to another gun. So if it run out of ammo, it's literally getting thrown down the stairs or
new weapon.
You know, or if I have to go hands on with the person, now I'm gonna rent after I neutralize the threat. I'm gonna render aid, right? No matter what, I'm gonna render aid. My wife is now wide awake, and I'm gonna say, keep this. If anything happened, you shoot, and then I'm gonna go up. I'm not gonna go up armed at that point in time. But out in the wild, out in the urban area, out wherever you are, you don't have that luxury. You're not gonna. It's not like telling somebody, "You dial 911." You know, do this. You're not gonna be like, "You hold this." So yeah, keep it on you.
Okay, going back to a couple questions. Harry said, "What Mantis model are you talking about?" Misfit did chime in later. We're using the Mantis X10. So that lets us do a bunch of really cool things. I'm trying to see if I can show some of the history of what it lets us do. So it shows some like your average scores. These are not my scores. I'm better than this. But they show you what you do wrong.
Yeah, it's not my score either. Mine were 99.
Yeah, and it can show you. So it shows you really cool things like this. There we go. Where the blue is like where you're aiming, and the yellow is where you start to pull off to when you actually start to pull the trigger. So you can start to see some of the weird stuff that you do.
It doesn't know when you're actually pulling the trigger. So if you're just like if you hiccup and then pull the trigger, I'm gonna say that you're terrible. So just keep that in mind. It's a training tool, not an absolute.
Concur.
Hey, can we talk about prices now? We're like almost at an hour.
Almost. Let me answer this, and I'll get this to you. Misfit said, I just finished basic and advanced. Elite is kicking my butt. The Mantis with the dry fire mag has been a great tool. It's been giving me a huge confidence boost. Yeah. So here's where I'm at in the Elite. I stopped like forever ago. I just felt super confident like you. I had no reason to just keep slugging through when I was just murdering 90s. And I was like, this one says shoot 50 open target with an average over 90 and then do it again. So my excitement to do that twice is pretty low. So it's probably why I'm stuck there. I don't think I stopped. Like I'm good. Like I'm good, man.
And Walsh, we have a discount code for them, don't we?
Mantis. Let me look while you're sharing. Let me look.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm super excited because I started looking up ammo, and you can actually kind of find it again, and it's more reasonable than it has been. It's not pre-COVID right now, but uh, I can find 9 mil if I want to buy 9 mil, and I want to find this stuff for like 50 or 60 cents a round. I was finding 40. I'm finding 45. Jason found the 12 boxes of 6 millimeter arc for Sean and I. That was kind of a fluke, but ammo coming back into the market and the prices are going back down on parts. So I just saw on PSA today that they had, it's a blem, but whatever. They had a blem, tool steel, full auto bolt for $99. So we're back into our bolt carrying groups for under $100, which is awesome. They had a Magpul grip with stock, and then the whole lower parts kit, including buffer tube and all that, for $100. I haven't seen that since pre-COVID. I mean, shoot, it's been hard to find them, let alone for $100, $99.99 or whatever. And why I bring up them? They send me the email. You know, everybody got deals, so if you like a different site or whatever, then look at whatever site that you like. But check this little guy out. I was kind of showing it. So it came with an SBA3 brace, which we'll see if this is still allowed in a couple months or whatever. Hey, real quick, if you haven't commented on the ATF stuff, you need to go on there and comment. Just type in pistol braces on YouTube, follow a link, go on there and comment. It worked the first time. People aren't commenting like they should. You need to go comment. Let's
in my
protect their
videos,
rights.
if I have to have a tennis ball for all my videos on the end of that, I'm going to be annoyed.
Right. Yeah. Or no, because a tennis ball makes it more comfortable for shouldering. So 4 points to you, Walsh.
Well, no,
modified it. You modified it. It's adjustable. You can move it in and out.
Yeah. You can't use the standards if they're not an actual brace attached.
No, it has to have a spike on the end. And then you
you got to put nails. You got to put tetanus nails. Or for people that live in those cities, if the needle are just laying around everywhere, just duct tape some of those at the end and you'll be fine. Anyway.
HIV needle.
So this was a blem, supposedly. I found a tiny little nick for one of the screw hole. You're not going to be able to see it, but the trigger pin, there might be a tiny little speck there. But this guy complete was $170 with free shipping. And then they had this blem, which does have a little bit of a blemish on the upper that maybe you can see. Yeah. See it right there, that little hot spot.
Anyway, so that we don't care.
Right. See that little hot spot? I mean, that's going to happen the first time I put that in the truck, whether it's in a gun case or not. So this was a 5.56, 10.5 inch with, I don't know, like a 12 inch handguard. Whatever. Came with the bolt and everything, I think, for $350-ish. So I got the whole gun shipped and everything for under $600. And I haven't seen that since pre-COVID. So I was super excited. I mean, a generic charging handle, a generic bolt, but it is a full auto bolt from PSA. So if you've been looking for the deals, if you've been waiting for the deal to come back, start keeping an eye out, because I bet you can find something and have a full gun in the next month or two.
Misfits asking, and this is a good question, like not so much for Joe, kind of for me and Cody, I guess. Are ambi lowers worth the extra cost? We're left-handed, so we're going to be the ones that use them, and I'm going to tell you, no, I don't care. I do use the Strike ambi mag release and the ambi bolt. There's that's not ambi, but it's like a enhanced bolt release. They work well together, so it works really good for a left-hander, so I can actually release the magazine or do the bolt catch super easy. I wouldn't need anything else. It's like I got to add like $12 to each lower. It's like,
yeah. The only thing you should honestly worry about if you need ambi is maybe the safety selector. The rest of it, I've trained so much with a right-handed rifle that I can run all the controls as a left-handed person. The only one that, and I can even do the safety selector. So when I'm walking on patrol, I normally just rest my trigger finger on the safety selector. And then when I have to go, I swipe down like I'm going into the trigger guard, and I've already put it in the fire. Same. So, but that's just training again. But the one thing for ambi that you should be concerned about is the safety selector. The mag release, I use my thumb, and my thumb, and I pull the mag out or drop the mag. So I don't know, just training.
And one thing, Joe,
I have no dog in the fight 'cause I'm not left-handed, but I will say, let's make up a statistic. 25% of people are left-handed when 75% are right-handed. I'm making that up.
Yeah.
If you train for a right-handed gun, you can pick up any gun and operate it, man.
And that's what Joe taught me. When I was starting, I was starting to build left, and he's like, Walsh, think of it this way: we come into a scenario. You've trained. You are the number one gun shooter with your left-handed gun, and you run into another one. It's probably going to be right-handed, so you may as well get used to it, even if it's just small things you got to do, like train into your own system, but don't go so far to one side that you don't know how to use normal universal controls. So,
and with left-handed gun, you got to think about the zombie apocalypse. Are you going to be able to find parts? It's hard to find parts for true left-handed ARs. It's hard to find parts pre-COVID.
And the left-handed parts suck. Like we built one left-handed gun, and it is the only reason I can't sell it is because Joe painted it. But otherwise, I would have thrown that thing right in the trash because I have to fix it all the time.
So I have a lefty stag arms, and it does not like Magpul mags. It will only run GI like metal mags. I don't know why. I think it's got to be something with the bolt. But if I put a P mag in there, nope.
Yeah, so he's saying his lower came with an ambi bolt release. It does speed up mag changes, but it doesn't seem like it's worth the extra cost. I don't run.
Oh, are you talking about it's just a bar?
Lever?
No, we're talking about bolt release, not charge handle. Yeah. He's talking about the ambi bolt.
It's just a bar that go underneath.
Hate those. No, there's some of them that run on the top, like the Radian ones. Radian actually runs over the top, so you can do it from either side. It's not that useful. As a lefty, I don't find it useful at all.
I think another part to fail.
I have to have an ambi charge handle. I hate having to come over. Like that drives me bonkers.
Yeah.
That's fair. And that's easy. I mean, everybody run, even right-handed. I think this is the only gun because we had our custom thin line defense ones that I need to buy more. This is the only one that I have that isn't an ambi, like a Raptor style.
You can buy those anywhere.
Mm-hmm. My
as a matter of fact,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, as a matter of fact, I bought it's not real by any means, but I bought one of those off of Wish, remember? And it doesn't have any paint on it. It's slick as all get out. Like, I love it to death because it doesn't have like the coating on it. So it's super slick.
Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, you don't need to spend $50 on a $60 on a charging handle, but your money.
So Harry, that's a good question. I have to see how a righty could use it, but that's how I use as a lefty. How I use a right-handed, I can release the magazine low, or I can disengage. I can hold the bolt back or release the bolt all right here in three different positions with just my index finger. So
who makes the one that you bought?
Strike Industries.
Yeah. I've tried them. I didn't like them only because I'm not left-handed. So
yeah, why would you? Like, you wouldn't want it. It kind of gets in the way. Like, if you don't have to train that way.
I just wanted to do it because I manipulate the charging handle with my left hand. So I wanted to be able to lock it to the rear instead of having to switch to my left hand holding down the paddle and then charging it with my right. I wanted to be able to just do it while my finger was still there and my hand was still on the grip. It didn't work out for me. It kept coming loose and wiggling, and I was putting a lot of torque on my paddle, which it's only a simple roll pin that holds that in, so you can snap it. Just be careful with it.
And I showed you guys too. You got to be careful if you're a lefty using those ambi controls, because some of the bolt, like the maritime bolt catch by Geisley, actually sits too low, so it's actually underneath where the actual ambi mag release is. So if you go to try and hold it, you almost every single time dump the mag. So you'll be training with it and be like, okay, pull the bolt back and magazine drops. You're like, okay, there's literally not enough room for me to be able to manipulate these controls. The other one, the Strike enhanced bolt catch with the Strike ambi mag release, sit in a way where they sit on different planes away from each other, so you can't hit them accidentally. So it just works better that way.
I would say use a regular right-handed AR for a couple years, get really good at it, and then if you think that there's something that can enhance your ability, then put that on your gun.
Those changes to the bad lever.
No, the Phase 5 is like a bad lever. It's just like 3 times more expensive. I don't like bad levers either as a lefty.
I think maybe that's the one that I tried, the bad lever.
You did. You hated it.
Yeah.
And the bad levers don't work with Aero M4E1s. If you guys aren't familiar with this, the way the actual lower is forged, there's a small lip that makes the bad lever just catch just slightly, and it causes some weird inconsistencies if you're not paying attention. So I didn't. We had to take them all off.
Yeah, you can have a problem with the bolt lock into the rear with those two. It adds extra weight in your magazine spring if it's weak and not going to push up your bolt catch bolt release. So just be careful with them.
Yeah, because we had some issue with mine not running right, and Joe was like, "Well, take all that garbage you have on your gun off." So of course I took it all off, and he's like, "Oh, weird, it runs just fine." Like,
yeah, now it works.
He's like, it ran just fine when I had it. Yeah. So Zach says, if you're a lefty, would it make sense to run an AK? So I have that BRN 180 that's side charging on the right side, and I really like that thing. So I have all the left side controls, and then I have the right side charging handle. Yeah, I love that thing because it's almost built better for a lefty, because a righty would have to come over the top, and where I'm just right here, engage, whatever, lock to the rear. It just seems way more designed for me.
Or you do like the AK and you put your hand underneath it.
Yeah. I was about to say, obviously Walsh doesn't watch any tactical videos on YouTube because they go under the gun. No, I'm not going to get into the AR AK hate, but if you never clean your gun, you see yourself rolling around in the mud for 10 hours before firing your first round, then sure, buy an AK. If not, no. They make side charging ARs. I have one. I have a side charging AR, a right side charging AR in 7.62 by 39.
You're just asking for hate,
right?
Ooh, I
wanted the round. I wanted the accuracy of an AR, and I'm used to all the button, right? I didn't want to train on a new rifle platform and have to spend 3 years training into the gun. I know ARs. So I bought a dual charging. It's still charging from the rear, but it does side charge too.
I like how it does both. Okay, I got to segue real quick because I got into a fight on Reddit, and it was because of you.
Great.
Because of the great teachings you taught me. So
good Reddit.
Mike's talking about how he just purchased his first AR, and he went out and shot 5 rounds and wants to know how to clean it. And so I kind of chimed in, and I'm like, listen, you don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, if your gun is running reliably, you don't need to clean it every 20 rounds, every 50 rounds, every 100 rounds. And that's something that I would do, and you would pick on me for. And then I realized for ages now, I just don't clean them. One of the guys was like, well, it's like, it's like maintenance. You got to do maintenance on your vehicle. Like,
yeah, but you don't change the oil every time you go to the grocery store.
Exactly.
You do have to do maintenance on your oil, on your car. I absolutely agree with that. You have to clean your guns. If it's been, look in there. Just pull your bullet back and look in there. If there's a whole bunch of buildup that you can see with your naked eye or dirt, then clean it. If not, leave it alone. Leave it alone. You'll actually be more accurate. You need to foul your barrel up and you'll be more accurate. But I will say this, if you're breaking in your barrel, then follow the manufacturer specific recommendation for breaking a barrel. If that means running a brush with some oil down it every shot, then do it. But after that, let her run, man.
And usually like the break-in is like the first 20 shots kind of has a certain thing they want you to do. Like with my Tika, they said, hey, here's what I want to do for the first 20, 25 shots, and then clean again at 500. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. If you drop it in the dirt or it get ran over and there's dirt all inside it, then clean it. But it doesn't have to be inspection ready every time you go and shoot it. And that's what Walsh was doing. Walsh was spending 2 hours after the range every time he went to the range. Like, how many rounds does he shoot? I don't know, 50, 100? Yeah. Like, stop doing that.
The military does engrave that in your head because every time we went and shot anything, M4, M11, we were cleaning it afterwards.
Mm-hmm. But now, two things. Number one, they have to keep those things serviceable. And those things have been, and they're pulling guns off the rack that have been in circulation since the mid 80s. And if they're not clean, they're not gonna run. So you got to do that. And number two, the military uses really dirty powder.
Yes,
I've never seen gun get so dirty so fast.
Powder. Oh.
And in the military,
the frangible stuff is super dirty.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, we got
They use
Angry
dirty
Sarge.
stuff.
I don't think I've ever.
I don't think you guys have met Angry Sarge. So he is actually prior. I'm gonna sneak out some stuff on. He's prior military. He runs HCH holsters. So he's got some cool stuff that we're gonna check out. He was like, if you like ours, I want to get some for the whole team. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna be like, all right, we're gonna hook it up. So he's got some cool holsters coming my way, and we're gonna check them out.
Okay.
But I did want to say,
nice
like,
to meet you, Angry Sarge.
yeah, I like cleaning. I'm with you. I think you should clean your gun maybe every 6 months, maybe. But I'm with you. I think it's added so much more to my confidence that I don't care when I grab my rifle. I don't care when I grab my pistol. I can take it out to the range, throw an optic on it, do a review. I haven't touched it since the last time, and it's going to work perfectly.
And dude, I'm telling you right now, if I don't say months, I say round count, right? If you're hitting around 500 yards, then run a brush down it, run some patches down it, wipe everything down, re-oil it. The oil is important. Every 500 rounds or so, do that. If you have a gun that won't function after you shoot 200 rounds out of it, and it's so dirty and clogged up that it won't function, get a different gun.
But
What
part
was
of
the
the
Hellcat
cleaning,
when they came out? They ran 10,000 rounds through it consistently. And then when they were reloading magazines, they put a fan through the barrel. That was it, I think. 10,000 rounds when the Hellcat came out.
That's pretty good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
but
They never
part
cleaned
of
that.
that cleaning is also inspecting, right? So you need to, when you're breaking it down, you need to be looking for issues and stuff. That way, it doesn't malfunction in your hands. So, yeah, you should like every once in a while, break it down, wipe it down, oil it, especially if you're going to store it.
Going back to the car analogy, here a perfect analogy for you. We all know the person that never changes their oil, right? Never changes their oil, never checks their oil, and you're like, man, that car ticking time bomb. Don't be that person. You also have known or heard of somebody that keeps their car in the garage underneath the car cover and will bring it out every Sunday and meticulously wash and wax the entire thing, fully detail the interior, push it right back into the garage, put the car cover over it, and they have a filtered garage. Don't be that guy either. I mean, you can, but unnecessary.
There's a wide spectrum. There's a wide spectrum.
Yeah.
How much is that garage kept car going to be worth in about 40 years?
Yeah, true. But I'm not looking at a price standpoint. I'm looking at a use standpoint.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Here's one thing I hate too. I got to fix some things that Sarge just said too. I hate how so many people online talk about how you have to buy these quality parts, and I argue with them like, listen, if you know how the gun works and you know how to fix malfunctions, I don't care. I don't need an enhanced bolt that's never going to break, because if I'm getting a failure to feed, failure to fire, failure to eject, whatever it is, I can easily identify the malfunction and then replace that piece. If it's a gas block, if it's a barrel, whatever it is, it's not like insurmountable.
It's not like it made out of a different material. You're paying for a name. There's something that you need to splurge on. If you want accuracy, you got to put a good barrel in it.
Trigger and barrel. That's all you need.
Trigger and barrel and optic. You got to go with a decent optic. Decent for what you're trying to do. What mission dictates gear, right? But you don't.
The rest of it.
I can guarantee you that I am not going to have. Well, I can't guarantee. I'd be willing to bet a large sum of money that a cheap charging handle is going to be just as effective and last just as long as an $80 charging handle.
Yeah. Listen, if I have a good trigger and a good
rail,
I could put it around a ham sandwich and I'm going to shoot just fine.
Yeah.
So I do want to fix Army Sarge. He's still Army, so he's actually legit. So he's like an actual wizard, and we're just like backyard warriors.
Oh yeah.
He's legit. And I said the name wrong. HCM holsters. My sorry. It's a lot of H's, C's, H's, and M's. So
I don't know how you keep any of that.
Well, we appreciate your service.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Awesome, buddy. Ooh, this is a fun one. What gun oil lube is? We'll probably do this last one, and then we'll do a wrap up, and then we'll call it. But so what gun oil?
You're gonna start a fight.
Welsh and I are gonna fight, and I'd be willing to bet the longer Welsh uses it, the more he comes over to the dark side. Shooter lube, it's great. I love shooter lube. I love the cleaning product. It's great. The oil works just fine. Honestly, you can use conventional motor oil off the shelf. Yep. Oh, look at that. Welsh, get that out of your house. That doesn't say frog lube on it.
Even I have it. So I'm the frog lube guy. So frog lube is really cool because you can, it works into the metal, you heat it up and it works into the pores and blah 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 blah.
All oil does that, but
yeah, it all does
sure,
that.
go ahead.
So the idea is that when the gun heats up, then the oil comes out of the pores, blah blah blah.
All oil does that, but go ahead.
Right. No, you're fine. But where that gets challenging and where I choose to use this instead is where we get into some of the more complicated systems like the M4s, AR-15s.
Let's back up. You've been religiously using frog lube for 2 years, no matter what anybody says.
Yeah. But like what I didn't want to do on the BRN 180 and the Strybog particularly, and I think I even did it on the new PSA, the way that those work, it would be almost impossible to heat them up and treat them and coat them and to do it properly. And it would take me ages because you also have to clean all the old oil off. And I was like, you know what? This doesn't make any sense. I don't want to go through all this trouble. The shooter lube is just phenomenal. And this was what, like $13, $20?
I think it's $20 for the cleaner and the oil together if you buy it together.
It was nothing. And I have the solvent over there, but the solvent is phenomenal. So
you'll go through solvent way faster than you go through the oil. I'm almost out of solvent from my first purchase, but
look at this.
I have 95%.
Shooter lube took the Cerakote off my pistol. I coat mine. Like we have every one of our guns is Cerakoted. And
maybe the cleaner.
Do you think the cleaner would do it?
I don't know. I don't spray down the outside of my gun with a cleaner.
Yeah.
All we have is Cerakoted guns, and I've never had a problem. But I don't know what you did. I'm not saying that that's not true. So if you are going to use any type of cleaner on your Cerakoted gun, I do not suggest rubbing it on the Cerakote itself.
So Zachary, I think I have a spare grip or something around that Joe's. Oh, I have a magazine. I'll take one of the Lancer mags that Joe did. And
that's on plastic too. So
yeah. So if it's going to come off, it'll come off that. I'll hit it with shooter lube and let it sit for a day or so, and we'll see what it does. See if the
it probably will strip it, dude. Eggs will take an egg will take paint off of a car.
Yeah, so he's saying it was the cleaner. Okay, so I'll try it. I'll try it on a magazine.
That's what it's designed for.
I believe it because it breaks up that carbon. So
I
believe it. So
no, I've never had that issue. I will say, I coat my gun completely in like the ones that Joe does for me. When all the others that are in that he's done, I coat them completely in frog lube to include the entire outside. So I head to toe.
That's the oil side. We're talking about the cleaner side. There's a difference.
I guess I could try. I'll try that. I'll use the frog.
Who said that? Zachary.
Yeah.
Zachary, I'm sure you learned your lesson, but I'll use you as an example for everybody. I don't, except for on the bolt and on the bore brush, I don't directly spray any cleaner on any part of my gun besides the bolt and the components and the wire, whatever, for the bore, for the barrel brush. Everything else, if I want to clean it, I have the rag that I just wipe down the entire bolt and it has cleaner on it. I'll use that to wipe something off. If it still doesn't come off, then I start looking for different brushes to get it off.
I know what we need to do. We need to get Zachary. Zachary, you need to get a gun painted by Joe because then you got to baby the crap out of it for the rest of your life, or else and you have to clean it with like a toothbrush. Be like, shh.
I don't baby my gun. He just doesn't sell it.
All right, Cody, we've been going about an hour and 20. Why don't we do a quick going forward and then wrap it up?
Yeah, go ahead. You got anything coming up this week?
We do. So I got one, and then I'm going to put out one that Joe put together. I'm just going to upload it all and finish it off for him. So I was actually asked by Misfit, I think on this one, he wanted to see the Ronin Tactics pistol pouches and the inner belt liner. I've been sitting on these for forever, and someone mentioned it again. And so I quick threw a video together because I knew we had Joe's already. So I was like, Joe's putting one out. I'll just put out a little shorty one. I'll set that one out. Full segue, full disclosure. I don't like those mags. I don't like those inner liners. So I would find something better. I like the Tier Tactical mag pouches better. You'll see why I don't like them. That one's going to release tomorrow. And then, Joe, I'm going to steal your thunder. but I'm going to release Joe's right on. You got the box fat, the MPRD,
Mm-hmm.
the little. So we'll be looking at some of the micro, the MPRD X3 tactics. So if that's not enough acronyms for you, I don't know what it is.
Right.
Well, he's going to set that up.
That's a micro red dot, right, for your Hellcat.
Yeah.
Correct?
So,
Okay.
I'll say this. Are you done, Walsh, with yours?
Yeah. Am I done?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
So I'll say this. I put this little micro. It's tiny, man. It's so small. I can't even get it out of the bag. Sorry, give me a second. I should have been ready. I know.
You know this was
So
coming.
I put this little tiny red dot on the Hellcat, and it's not on the Hellcat. So if you want to see why it's not still on the Hellcat, then watch the video. What, Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, and I don't agree with Joe's reasons. So you may have your own.
Yeah.
You have your reasons.
Yeah,
I have a little. I've trained a little more with red dots. So the things that he wants aren't necessarily things that I want. I could see his reasoning though. So maybe you guys make your own decisions on what would be good for you, and what wouldn't.
It's a prime example that our opinion are exactly that, an opinion, right? Everybody has one, and they're just ours. So I'm not going to change my opinion because it's what works for me. Yeah. Yep.
Misfit's saying the 507K on the hook. I think you have to modify some pieces for that. I don't know. We should play with that though. I'll see if I can get a hold of it.
Yeah,
We'll send more red dots to Joe. That's what he wants. More red dots.
Yeah, more red dots. If I do another unboxing video, I'm gonna be pissed.
That's the best part of the video.
Yeah, and then I have another video coming up eventually once Jason. We kind of did a. Cody, did you send your video to Jason?
Oh, not yet.
With your stand? Oh, so now I've been done for months. We've been waiting on Jason to get his stuff in and Cody to.
Did he get that thing in? I thought I was busted.
They're sending him a new piece, so hopefully he's gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been waiting forever on it.
Mine's super quick. As a matter of fact.
I'm spying something. So yeah, there's that video. Just alternate means of storing your firearms. So we're trying to do a video on that and give some people idea, pros and cons. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then buy the safe, bolt it to the floor, and have fun.
I still need to do that too.
One thing I want to add before we close this up, Cody, I do want to say thanks. During this chat at some point, Misfit actually joined as one of our Patreon supporters. So Misfit has been awesome and supporting our videos through comments and interaction and doing everything else. So big thanks. And then you also joined as our Patreon supporter. So love that. Yeah. We're going to keep giving you some love back, man. Thanks for the channel support. Thanks for the channel support from Harry, Zachary, all the guys who are in here that come all the time. I don't think I've seen Eyes Wide Shut tonight. He's awesome. All the guys that come out and just send us love every single week. It's awesome. We love talking with you guys. This is as much fun for us as it is for you guys. Hopefully we have a good time with it.
Bravo Tac's starting to be a regular too. So thank you. Thanks for the new guys. If you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing. We do this every Thursday at 8:30 Central Time. Yeah. So come out and see us every week.
9:30 East Coast.
All right. Later, everyone. Have a good week.
Y'all take care. See you next week.